Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. As you can tell, this is not a Minecraft video because I'm not covered in blocky things everywhere. So for those of you who've never actually seen me real life before, this is me. This is what I look like. As I always told you guys, I'm a fat bastard. So let's get over that and get down to what this video is about. This video is for people who enjoy these things, Zippos. These are probably a collector phenomenon thing, which I'll explain in a minute. And the idea of this is, and the videos coming after this which will involve the Zippos, are for people who want to learn how to do tricks, and people who are just getting out and collecting and just want an idea of, like, you know, what to collect, what to look for, little signs, things like that. And it's just like a Zippo tips and tricks series. So if we get down to it, this video will mainly focus on two sides: tricks and collections, or collectors, or yeah. So you're gonna have tricks on this side and collectors on this side, or yeah, vice versa. So basically, I want to start off with Zippo. How do you choose a Zippo, and when would you choose a Zippo? Now, for collectors, most collectors nowadays don't really give a crap. A lot of collectors will just buy for the sake of buying because it might be rare in a few years' time, something like that, and make them twice the amount back. A lot of collectors will buy a Zippo for the sake of having them on the wall. If you look over here somewhere, there used to be a cabinet there with about 40 odd Zippos in, which I sold off just for the sake of needing to sell them off so that I could get things sorted and things. So yeah, for my own reasons. And I made probably about twice as much as what I spent on them back. So yeah, that's that. So when it comes down to it, what are you looking for when you go for a Zippo? For collectors, most collectors will look for something that could be a bit rare, kind of similar to this one. This is a Zippo Swap Meet 2006 one that they had over in Pennsylvania. I can't remember where it's from. And you know, even this comes part of everything. It's got a little certificate of authenticity, which I'll read out, which says this commemorative Zippo lighter was produced for the Zippo Case International Swap Meet held in July 21st and 22nd, 2006 in Bradford, Pennsylvania. So that was right. Zippo's new translucent toffee finish enhances the colour and imaging of the Treasures and Trails Swap Meet logo and the Zippo blah blah blah. Of the Zippo waterproof lighter, packaged in a rectangular commemorative tin. This Zippo lighter is limited to 1,000 pieces worldwide. And I bought this for about £40 about 2 years ago, and this Zippo has never been struck. Now that's something I'll get onto in a minute, but these are the kind of things that look like this, mainly those, but mainly these things that are rare. You know, this is a 1 in 1,000 piece, and yeah, there's 1,000 out there, but essentially when you work it out with how many people on the planet, it's a 1 in a million, or 1 in a billion, 100,000, I can't remember. It's something quite high that it is rare enough that it can start getting a good price, especially in the next 10 years when Zippos like this will start to have been used. You know, some kid might have got into someone's collection, people might have misplaced them, they've been damaged, you know, things like that, and slowly but surely they get whittled down and they become rare. So that's what most collectors go for nowadays, your commemorative things that are slightly rare, and you know, that's fine. You also get people who will buy for the design. So the one like this one here, you know, they will buy it because it looks nice or something like that. I mean, this Zippo originally had an eagle on the front, as you can kind of tell if I shine the light just right. You can see where the stickers come off, and you know, that's come off just through because it was a cheap ass sticker that went on. But that's another reason why they might buy it, because it's old as well. I think there was a couple of million produced for the Vietnam War, And the thing is with them that they were given to soldiers, which is all well and good, and they were slowly whittled away as people use and things like that. So they're still fairly common-ish, but there's a few out there that are in a good nick, and those that are in good nick are the ones that will fetch a higher price than the ones that maybe have a bullet hole in it, for example. It's a bit extreme, but you see where I'm coming from. So that's how a collector will probably choose a Zippo. For most normal people, I think the most common Zippo in the world is one that looks like this. Plain, normal Zippo. You may also get a matte finished one, which is dull and it's just got the chrome around the sides. Now, a lot of people will just go to a normal Zippo dealer and you get it in a box, which I don't have one of anymore. But you get it in a box that says Zippo on it, and you get your guarantee in it, and all those little kind of things and stuff like that. So they don't really need to worry about fakes, because there are a lot of fakes out there. So a lot of people will just go for a design they like, or they'll have it engraved with something in particular. I mean, there's a lot out there. You can get them specially engraved and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of eBay shops that sell them off at a decent-ish price. So you can get engraved in your own style. So that's what a lot of people do. But for those who, like me, who are just starting out collecting, who just want a Zippo, essentially, you say you go to a car boot every Sunday and there's a guy there with a couple of Zippos laid out, and you have a look and you try and decide if they're real, if they're fake, do you want it, do you not, those kind of things. This is the kind of video that will help you now. Now, the most common problem with people who buy Zippos, especially offline, is that they appear fake, and that's because of bad video techniques. Like this one will be fairly not amazing, but I will show you all the other little tips and tricks that I've used in my past, as well as some that I've learned from a YouTube user, which will appear here, over here somewhere, called Cutlery Lover. A little plug there for him. He's an amazing guy. He has a lot of stuff, and as much as I hate to say it, he really does fulfill the American stereotype of collect everything, including knives and guns kind of thing. But he's an alright guy. He does share his knowledge, and it's guys like that we need on the internet, because knowledge is power kind of thing. So how do you tell that if you've got a Zippo that's real? Well, if I move the camera down, I'll show you a close-up view with all the little tips and tricks, and we'll get that down to that. So you've got your Zippo, you've picked it up, you're at a car boot stall or something like that, there's people all around you, and you're trying to figure out if the Zippo you've got in your hands right now is a real Zippo. Now, this can be difficult for a lot of things. Excuse me. Now, the problem with that is that there's a lot of very clear fakes. You'll look at it, you'll look at the two things which I'll show you in a second, which will show that they are fake straight away. You look at it and know, like that, you'll know instantly. But there's a lot of very, very good copies out there, and the problem with that is that it can create a lot of problems for people like you and me. So the first thing I always do if I pick up a Zippo, and it's the first thing that everyone always says do, is look at the bottom. If I show you the bottom there, the quality is not that good, but as you can see here, you've got Zippo, and it should be the logo. Now, bear in mind that that has changed slightly in the 60 odd years. So there's a little book which I think I'll try and find a PDF for you guys and stick it in the doobly-doo below, which will give you a guide. It's basically a really good guide to the bottom of your Zippo. And the first thing I look for is the Zippo logo, and make sure it's one that I recognise. The next thing you look for are these here. Now, a lot of people ask what these are. They think they're like grades of Zippos. I've heard rumours that A is the best kind of Zippo you can get, while M is the worst. I think it's M. I'm not sure, I'll have to check. And these just say the year it was made. Now, this is both true and this is not actually true, sorry, this is completely incorrect. Ignore what I said then. These are when the Zippo was manufactured. So this is your year, and this is your month. So you know, A is January, B is February, C is March, yada 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 kind of thing. And this is your year. Now, this has changed a lot in the last 60 odd years. I mean, they started out with I think circles, and they're now, which you can't really make it out, but there is 2000 and then an XVI there, which means that this Zippo case, the self itself, was made in February 2000. And then at the bottom you've also got your Bradford PA, made in America kind of thing. So that's the first thing I look for. You know, you will get some where you look at that and it'll say Z here. Yeah, that's a clear indication. That's one of those you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's definitely not right. The Zippo logo might be off. It might, Bradford, Pennsylvania might be spelt wrong. I mean, I've seen that so many times. The year is a year that hasn't existed. It's like, I think I saw one before from like 1902 it said. You know, it's just, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's fake, straight away, without even thinking about it. The next thing that you go for is probably the most distinctive thing about a Zippo, which is that noise. Did you hear that? Yeah, that little ting that you hear. It's not a hollow, it's like a hollow ring, which is the sound that this part of the Zippo, which is called a hammer, makes when it flips up and down. Yeah. So yeah, that's the next thing. That's the sound. This is a real Zippo, so that's the sound you're looking for. That little noise there, right? That is one of the next indications. A lot of fake Zippos you'll open and it'll sound something like that, a really dull thud. Or, and I haven't got a fake Zippo anymore, I used to. You'll open it up and it'll have that ring, but it'll stop there. I've noticed that before, because the hammer has been welded to the lid of the Zippo, so it'll stop there. And yeah, I've seen that a couple of times actually. I don't know if it's a common thing, it's just something I've seen. It could just be, you know, a particular fake Zippo type, I'm not sure. So that's the next thing I look for. That straight away tells me that that is at least the case or the hammer, one or the other, is real. I mean, like, if I take this insert out in a minute, I mean, if you've got that on the bottom, you can pretty much guarantee that the case you are holding is a real Zippo. Now that's the case. This insert may not be real, and there's a couple of little ways you can tell whether this is real or not. The first one is the noise that you heard of the hammer here. Okay, I'll put that down there. So let's take a close look at this. Now, you won't be dragging the insert out with you whenever you start looking at a Zippo, because, you know, it's a bit of a pain, essentially. So one of the first things you look for when you open the Zippo, you pretty much can just see that. Yeah, most people agree with me. That's pretty much all you can see, which is the chimney, the wick, the hammer, and the striker, which it's not striking properly. There we go. So the first thing I look for on this, if I turn it around, is you see these little pins. Now they are a tinny colour, and they're only this rounded end on one side. Now if this is a real Zippo, they'll look like that. Yeah, they'll be a tinny colour and they'll only be rounded on one side. So the other side, you can see, is the other end of the pin and isn't rounded. Now some Zippos that I've come across, they've been a gold coloured, which a lot of people think for like some of the gold or the copper Zippos is part of the design. It's not, trust me. The only time it would be part of the design, I think, is if the entire insert is made of copper. Another one as well to look for is, look at the chimney. Count the number of holes in it. You know, you've got 3 across the bottom, 2, 3, yeah? So you're looking for 8 holes in total. on one side and 8 holes on the other. Now you can get some that will be 4 holes, so you'll be missing these 2 other sides, or you get some where you've just got those 6 there. So you know, that's another thing to look for. The other one as well with these pins, make sure that only one side is rounded. Some Zippos, some of the fake Zippos anyway, both sides will be rounded. That's another clear indication that it's fake. Another one to look for if you do pull the the insert out is have a look at the felt at the bottom. You want to be looking at this and making sure that as you rub your finger across it, you're not getting any like tinny, dirty residue that you get. You know, if you have like cheap metal and you rub it a bit and you get that horrible dirty residue on your hands, you want to make sure you're not getting any of that. And then you also just want to have a look at this felt as well. Just make sure that, you know, it's in good nick and it looks fairly real. I mean, a lot of people will replace this with something that's, you know, a bit fake or something like that. It doesn't really matter, because they can, for some people who might not have the money, it can be expensive. It can be, I don't know why, it just can be. So that's all I look for. And then you can't really see it on this one because this is really battered, but on the side as well, you can't really see on this camera, but there are a load of words here. Now on one side it says keep away from children after filling white lighter and hands before igniting. Lighter does not self-extinguish, close the lid to put it out. And on the other side it says for best results use Zippo, flints and fluid. Then it'll have like you Zippo Corporation, whatever, and then underneath that you'll have another little letter and another little number or symbol. Now this is again your month and year that it was made, and they apply the same as what they are on the bottom of your normal Zippo. So you know, if you like this one says AXVI, which tells me that the insert was made in January, whereas the case was made in February. Now that could mean that it's not the original insert, it could be a replacement insert, it could be just bottom of the barrel essentially, like this was made on February the 1st, whereas this was made on January the 31st or 30th, I can't remember how many days there are in January. So you know, that's all that could be, but it's just bear that in mind. And the only other thing really after that, if you're still not sure if it's real or fake, honestly, if it's only for £5, buy it. If it's not, get rid of it. Just put it down, because it's probably a fake if you're still not sure after that. The last true little telltale sign that I use is here, and if you see here, you can see these little dints that the light's distorting on. You see those straight lines that are distorting. Now they shouldn't be anything other than slightly oblong, I'd say, you know, like just ever so slightly. They're just barely bigger than a circle, and they are the welding points for the insert of the not the insert, but the hinge of the Zippo. They are what hold these two bits together. So that's what you're looking for. And if I'm still not sure after that, and I'm just after a fake one because somebody wants to learn some tricks, which I'll explain why you need fake ones in a minute, I'll buy it probably, and it just sit in the pile of fakes that I used to have until I feel the need to have it, or something like that. And if it's a real one, I'll buy it and I put it in a box, I restore it, and I'll explain how to restore it in another video. But this that's it for this video at the minute. As I said, this video is just how to choose your Zippo, how to tell it's a real Zippo. I'll move that back up. So thank you for watching, and stay in touch for another video where I will teach you how to restore some of your Zippos, as well as how to do a couple of little tricks. Keep watching, practice and enjoy.